Good morning, everyone. Slow and steady here. I just left Damascus at the Broken Fiddle Hostel. A few of us, three or four of us got an early start. You can see behind me. Here's where you get off the highway. There's a couple of white blazes here telling us to go across the street. And anyway, so we took a zero yesterday. I think today's day 40. So day 39, we took a zero. That's my second one of the trip. 40 days in, hey, why not? But I feel better. Shoe thing never got quite worked out. Still trying to get the Hoka's returned to Hoka since they refused to do anything to make it right. So we switched to the, I forgot which one, Ultra Olympus 5. And they're low cut instead of mid top, which was the plan anyway. They've got a lot more cushion than the Lone Peak apparently, so they feel pretty good. Side note here's where the AT crosses the road. So we'll see how they work out today. So I got a 9-mile bailout option at a shelter and 16 miles if the shoes feel okay. But when you go from a few degrees drop to zero drop, who knows? I did it once during triathlons and my calves were on fire for a few days. See the stairs across the way, that's where we're heading up. Homegrown is already up there, Bob just went up. But with that, the sun's gonna peak up here in a few. It's in the mid-20s now, but it's gonna warm up to probably 60 today. That's why you see my bare legs again. Anyway, I also sent home about 3 pounds of stuff that I haven't been using. Nothing critical for warmth or anything, but just some extra layers that I wasn't using. So anyway, I'm down to 13.8 base weight and today fully loaded about 26 pounds. So we'll see how that feels on the back and the knees and the ankles and all. So, all right, I gotta get hiking. It's might be a long day, although it's only 8 a.m. right now. Here comes somebody on the Florida Creeper Trail, I assume. We're heading into town on their e-bike. All right, we'll catch up soon. All right. I see some sun poking through. Oh, there it is. It's all coming through the rhododendron, kind of mini green tunnel here. Things should start heating up fast now. I get 3 layers on right now. I'll have to take 1 or 2 off here as the day goes on. And I've got my alpaca wool gloves on right now. Fingers do get cold when it's in the 20s here. But anyway, just climbing up and out of the highway out of Damascus. Go see if we can catch up with Homegrown in a little while. He looked like he was off to the races this morning. I'm trying to do as the channel says, slow and steady as I figure out how these shoes are gonna interact with my feet. So we'll find out as the day goes on. So far so good, but we'll just have to be cautious for a day or two. Catch up in a minute. This morning's moment of zen. All right, the Virginia Creeper Trail's to my right, 1/4 mile. Nice biking trail, rails to trail. That's the Appalachian Trail's up this way. Done, it says 6 miles to Damascus. That's about to the road. We've done 7 or 8 now. Saunders Shelter's coming up, but feet are still feeling good in the Ultra Olympus, so we'll see. Maybe we'll just keep going after that for another 7 to the next shelter area. Pitch a tarp, stay in the shelter, I don't know. But it is gorgeous out. 10 out of 10 today. Beautiful, beautiful day. And it's warmed up, so got the fleece off. Still have a t-shirt and a long sleeve sports shirt on. This material, I don't know, some synthetic. Does good in hot or cold, doesn't matter, but I think that'll be coming off soon. So it's not even noon and it's already getting toasty out here. Went from 25, we're probably in the 50s now. I think we'll get 60, maybe a little more, I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see what's up this hill as I stretch my calves and try to make sure I don't overdo it today in new shoes. Totally new design, totally. I know you're tired of hearing about it, so we'll see how it goes over the next couple days. I'll keep you posted. All right, as I'm coming up the hill here, I remembered Saunders Shelter. If you can see the sign from there, let's see, is about a quarter mile down this trail. That's a blue trail. Blue blaze means a side trail. It actually is a loop, or loops back to the AT. I'm guessing the other side of this knoll here, this little ridge top. So I'm not going to go down there. I'm going to continue on the AT up this way. But at the other end of this little loop that goes to the other end of that blue trail, there might be a site of that shelter. I don't know. Let's go find out. But I think I'll continue on. As you saw, Lost Mountain Shelter. That's 6.5 miles. And we'll see how we feel. Now the new Ultra Olympus 5s that I'm wearing, you know, I got rid of the mid tops down to low tops. A little bit of a angled Hoka down to a flat, a flat profile Ultra. My heels are feeling it. I don't know if that's one or all of the above. They're a little tender, but we'll see. We got a lot of downhill in the next 6.5 miles too, which I enjoy. It's good for me. My knees are good. We'll go along and see. The big test is tomorrow morning. Let's see how bad things hurt or don't hurt. But overall, the cushioning is magnificent. The cushioning on those Hoka Anacapa Breeze, no knock on the product. They work great. You know, they just wore out after, 400 or 500 miles. I'm just sadly disappointed in the Hoka service on making things right. When you overnight something and it doesn't even ship for 2 days, spend the $30 and it just sits in their warehouse. So that's upsetting. Didn't do nothing to make it right. And I assume I mentioned, but just in case I didn't, yesterday is my second zero. That's the second day I took off. And today is day 40 overall. And so 1 out of every 20 days take off. I think that was the goal anyway. Every 3 or 4 weeks, take a day off. I think for some people that's not enough. I don't know, and it may change. I reserve the right to do whatever the heck I want out here. But I'll bring you along for the ride. We'll catch up soon. Let's see if we can see the shelter on the other end, but I'm not sure if we can or not. If not, we'll just keep filming as we go along to something else. Stay tuned. Another little side note, here's Taylor's Valley if you're watching. There's a view of you from up on the AT here. Looks like a small little community. I assume that this whole area is Taylor's Valley from what I can tell on Google Maps. You can barely see it through the trees, but looks like a cute little mountain town. Hello if you're on here. And here's the other end of that blue blaze. So the shelter's about a quarter mile back that way. So it's right in the middle of the blue blaze, kinda, I guess. So I'm not heading back that way. You can if you want to. Well, you got the place to yourself if you stay there. I doubt Bob stopped here either. He's probably way out front, probably a mile or two up ahead. So we're just gonna, I'm alone right now, so I'll keep hiking. Keep hiking this way. Catch up in a few. All right, I came to another fork in the road. I know you haven't heard that in a while. Bear Tree Gap Trail, US 58, Iron Mountain Trail. It's up that way. This trail, the AT, this is where I came from. It's really soft pine needles. It's been really kind on the feet today for the most part. Some rocky areas. And here's the little AT sign, north-south. We're heading north. Looks like it goes this way for a little while. Nice and soft. I think I only got another, maybe I have another 4 or 5 miles. I just walked for half a mile talking to my father on the phone. That's how nice the trail was. their signal, soft trail, new shoes. All right, this is a hiker paradise here, and it's got to be in the 60s by now. It's beautiful out. Now we're just on a hunt, or I'm on a hunt for the next water source, but it's not that hot out, so I'll survive for another mile while I go to a nice, easy water source coming up. Anyway, I think I probably have to start watching a little bit as the spring comes, if there are any dry spells, start focusing a little bit. We've been pretty spoiled with water everywhere for the most part up till now. I have to start keeping an eye on it if it starts drying up, because I know some years, probably this year too, there will be areas somewhere where there is many, many miles, where there are many, many miles between water sources, reliable water sources. So just got to start thinking ahead. The other thing I saw, just to ramble on a bit more, is Virginia. And I think I said Florida earlier. I don't know why, but obviously I'm in Virginia now. But Virginia in the northern part has some wildfires. I hope they get that under control for the forest sake. What's up, guys? But anyway, we can catch up soon. A nice sunny rhododendron green tunnel for today. Just ran into a couple of locals out in the woods having lunch. Super, super friendly. Awesome little girl dog with them. Real fun to run into such nice people out in the middle of the woods. It was cool they took a different trail to come in. Yeah, beautiful lunch spread set up. Yeah, perfect day for it. Coming up on an intersection where the Appalachian Trail joins up with the Virginia Creeper Trail. That's the rails to trails situation. We take old train tracks, fill them in, and make eco-friendly tourist kind of things and bike paths. And we just came from up that way on the Appalachian Trail. I'm gonna walk over here. There's a cool little bridge. See what's going on the Creeper Trail. See, you have this nice rock pavement here. Not pavement, but you know, surface. Real soft, great for cycling. Damascus has tons of outfitters that take you up to the top of the Creeper Trail. I think is how it works. And you bike back to town. And it's a real nice ride and beautiful. You know, look at the waterway you're along. Probably the same water I started out this morning in Damascus. I don't know. Anyway, really nice bridge. These are big heavy-duty bridges because there used to be trains on them. There's trails and camping spots. There's just gorgeous. Anyway, I don't know if you can see down there in the shadows or not with the railroad trellis. So there's a beefy things, and they got these real high guards. I assume they put them up to keep cyclists from going over into the river or into the creek. Look at that water. Just beautiful. But then only a couple more miles. I think my shelter's up there somewhere on top of that hill, a little mini mountain. But the big news is tomorrow is, I believe, Grayson Highlands. If you don't know what Grayson Highlands are, check it out tomorrow. You get some surprises, I hope, for you. If you cheat and look online, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or if you already know what it is, check in tomorrow. And, you know, I release these every night at 7 p.m. So if you haven't noticed, occasionally I think I forget to switch the p.m. So there might be one or two that have come out at 7 a.m. I don't know. But anyway, we'll aim for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Show you what's going on at Grayson Highlands. I think the weather's supposed to be nice, so it should be a beautiful day up there. First thing I gotta do is go somewhere and set up camp for the night. It's early. I think it's only 3 p.m. thereabouts. Only 2 or 3 miles left, but it's, you know, it's pretty steep, 2 or 3 miles, I think, and a little steeper than this nice pavement I'm walking on, I imagine. So anyway, we'll catch up, see if we have any more views for the day, and show you where we're camping out tonight, and maybe do another time lapse or two. That's a fun feature I learned. I'm glad someone asked me about setting up shelters and cooking and stuff like that. Seems like the time lapse is a good way to capture a lot of that stuff. You get enough information without boring everyone to death with the tiny details. But any questions, just ask. I try to reply to everyone, even if it's just a thank you, or if it's a question, I'll try to answer it if I know the answer, or let you know if I don't. Anyway, like and subscribe as always if there's anything you're getting out of this. but most important, just enjoy the views. Just beautiful. Hopefully the camera captures a little bit of what I see out here. Need water? Everything's flowing great out here right now. I don't need anything. So let's go and keep walking. But of course, not every water source is this easy and this nice, but a lot of it's pretty good still. You know, I was thinking, you got all day to think. I don't listen to music or podcasts out here. I just think about stuff all day. I was thinking about the black bear I saw the other day, that Bob and I saw, with brown fur. You know, I grew up as a kid in Appalachia. Saw a few black bears. I don't remember how many. I've seen a few, not tons, and more than a couple. But I've never seen a brown one. I was pretty certain they existed. So it's the first one that I can recall ever seeing. I've seen brown bears, grizzlies up in Alaska, but never a brown furred black bear. Have any of you guys ever seen a brown furred black bear, a black bear with brown fur or some other color, albino? I don't know. I'm curious how common it is. Never seen it. I don't hunt bears, so I've never really gone looking for bears. They've just been a something I've seen out hiking or camping or, you know, living when we lived in certain parts of West Virginia where there were a few around. Usually my Rottweiler growing up would scare them away or tree them until we pulled her away from it and they'd run away. But anyway, just curious. All right, back to hiking. I'm only a mile or less from camp, so we'll see. My heels are killing me. You're supposed to lock your heels down in low tops, or you're supposed to let them wiggle a little. There's supposed to be a little room. I don't have a clue. So I'm gonna experiment with a couple different things. Sure, it's just the different pressures from the shoes. I was sure I'd feel it somewhere. And now after 15 miles or so, not very difficult hiking, but after 15 miles or so, the back of my heels, you know, where your Achilles kind of goes under your heel bone, might be called the talus if I remember from anatomy, but where those tendons or whatever they are, those ligaments or tendons curl underneath the back of your heel, that area is killing me. Feel free to leave any advice. By the time you see this, hopefully I figured it out, but I'm always welcome to advice and open to advice, and happy to include it in the next video too, to share with other people. And if I find something that works, or if it just takes a couple of days to get used to it. I mean, after you hike through the mountains for 15 or 20 miles, your feet are sore. I mean, that's okay. The level of sore I was getting with those worn out Hokas was way above normal. And today my feet feel tired but good, except for that heel bone. And that's new to me. I feel it occasionally, but not like today. It's sore. So we'll stop up here, I think, and get a good night's rest. A couple vitamin I's, you know, ibuprofen, and lots of water and food, and go from there. Stay tuned. All right, I found the lost mountain shelter. Just teasing. Anyway, mile 487. Tomorrow's a big 5-0. 500 miles tomorrow. Race in Highlands tomorrow. But for tonight, with the way my heels feel, I think the lost shelter is the place to call home tonight. Let's go see who's over here. Some ideas for tomorrow. US 58, Thomas Knob, 13 miles. Sanders shelter was back there. Let's go say hi to Bob and see what his plans are. Silent Bob. I'm gonna change my name to Jay. If it wasn't already a big Hollywood couple, I guess we could be Jay and Silent Bob. I think I talk as much as Jay, and he talks a little more than Silent Bob. That's home. There's water. There's a big pack, 34 pounds.